Switching to Linux can feel like moving to a whole new digital world. The first question most people ask is, but what about the software I use every day? Whether you're coming from Windows or Mac OS, there's good news. Linux has powerful free alternatives for almost every major app you're used to. In this video, I'll guide you through some of the best Linux replacements for everyday tools, from office software and multimedia apps to design programs, system utilities, and more. Let's get into it. Let's start with system tools, the kind of apps that help you manage your computer behind the scenes. On Windows, you're probably used to opening Task Manager to see what's eating up your CPU or RAM. On Linux, you've got several options. The most beginner-friendly is GNOME System Monitor, which gives you a clean graphical overview of your system's performance. But if you prefer something faster and more powerful, try HTOP. It runs in the terminal, it's colorful, and it gives you detailed information in real time. Need something like CCleaner to clean up your system? Linux users go for BleachBit. It clears out cache, temp files, and junk from your system with just a few clicks, and it respects your privacy. Now let's talk about creativity. Photo editing, graphic design, and video production. One of the most common questions is, can I replace Photoshop on Linux? And the answer is yes, with GIMP. The GNU Image Manipulation Program is one of the most powerful open source alternatives out there. It has layers, masks, advanced brushes, filters, you name it. It's not identical to Photoshop, but once you get used to the interface, it's incredibly capable. For vector design, think of it as replacing Adobe Illustrator with Inkscape. It supports SVG files, advanced path operations, and plenty of export options. For video editing, Linux has matured a lot. Kdenlive is a strong alternative to Premiere Pro. It has multi-track editing, transitions, effects, and supports 4K. If you want something even simpler, Shotcut is lightweight and beginner-friendly. And for audio work, Audacity still remains a solid cross-platform choice. But if you're doing studio-level production, Ardour gives you Pro Tools with a Linux-native workflow. Next up, managing files and archives. On Windows, you might use WinRAR or 7-Zip to open compressed files. On Linux, most desktop environments come with built-in support for zip, tar, RAR, and other formats. But if you want a dedicated tool, pzip or arc are solid options. File explorers also differ depending on your desktop environment. If you use Ubuntu with GNOME, you'll find Nautilus, which is clean and simple. KDE users get Dolphin, which is rich in features like split views and tabbed browsing. XFCE has Thunar, which is fast and lightweight. Each one is intuitive, customizable, and much more stable than you might expect.
For web browsing, personally, since privacy is one of the main reasons I use Linux, I lean toward Brave. It offers excellent speed, built-in ad and tracker blocking, and doesn't compromise on security. It's a perfect choice if you're looking for a more private alternative to Chrome without sacrificing performance. If you're someone who loves to customize every detail, Vivaldi is another great pick. And yes, even Google Chrome is available for Linux if you want full compatibility with Google services, though it's not the most privacy-friendly. As for email, Thunderbird remains the most popular client. Developed by Mozilla, it's open source, secure, and supports multiple accounts, calendars, and extensions. But if you're after something that looks and feels more like Outlook, Evolution is a solid alternative too.
Let's move to Office work. Replacing Microsoft Office is one of the biggest concerns for new Linux users. LibreOffice is the first name that comes up. It includes Writer for documents, Calc for spreadsheets, Impress for presentations, and more. It opens and saves .docs, .xlsx, and .pptx formats, so compatibility is rarely an issue. But if you want a sleeker, more modern UI, try OnlyOffice. It looks more like Office 365 and has excellent compatibility with Microsoft formats. WPS Office is also available and looks very close to Microsoft Office. but it's proprietary, so keep that in mind. For note-taking, Evernote users often switch to Joplin. It supports notebooks, Markdown, and syncs securely across devices. Standard Notes is another great option focused on privacy and encryption. When it comes to installing new apps, Linux offers built-in software centers that are way more powerful than what most people expect. On Ubuntu and GNOME-based systems, you get Genome software. KDE users get Discover. Advanced users prefer Synaptic Package Manager for full control. These app stores let you browse, install, and update thousands of free applications with just a click. For communication, most mainstream apps have Linux versions. Zoom, Slack, Discord, Telegram, and even Microsoft Teams can be installed on Linux. But if you want open source alternatives, Jitsi Meet is a solid video conferencing tool that runs in your browser or desktop app. Element is a matrix-based messaging app that's secure, decentralized, and privacy-focused. Signal and WhatsApp can both be accessed via the browser or desktop apps as well. Now, let's talk about development tools. If you're a coder or want to become one, Linux is arguably the best environment out there. Visual Studio Code works flawlessly on Linux. Or you can use VS Codium if you prefer the open source build, without Microsoft telemetry. Genie and Kate are lightweight editors for quick scripting or projects. For full IDEs, there's Eclipse, IntelliJ, and PyCharm, all available on Linux. Replacing something like XAMPP, you can easily install a LAMP stack, Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Or use Docker, which runs natively and helps you manage containers, environments, and microservices efficiently. Gaming on Linux has come a long way, and yes, it's totally viable now. With Steam's Proton compatibility layer, you can run many Windows games on Linux with great performance. Just install Steam, enable Proton in the settings, and start playing. For non-Steam games, Lutris lets you manage and run titles from Epic Games, GOG, Battle.net, and more. You can even use Heroic Games Launcher as a Linux-friendly Epic client. Tools like Mango HUD help you monitor frame rates, while Game Mode optimizes your system's performance while playing. Native Linux games still exist, and the open-source gaming community continues to grow. As you can see, switching to Linux doesn't mean giving up the tools you love. In many cases, you gain speed, stability, privacy, and freedom. The learning curve is real, but once you discover how rich the Linux ecosystem is, it starts to feel less like a downgrade and more like an upgrade. From office work and editing to development and gaming, Linux has an app for almost everything. Often open source, often free, and built by passionate communities.